What's going on, everybody? Packer Plug back with another video. And man, the Detroit Lions coming to Green Bay, coming to Lambeau Field, home game. We're back in Lambeau after being down in Jacksonville, Florida, and pulling out a very close game that honestly didn't want it to be that close. Didn't want it to have to come down to it. But it's nice to know that McManus can handle it when it comes down to that. And 2 weeks in a row, two walk-off game-winning field goals from McManus, man. He's phenomenal. He's amazing. You get out of Jacksonville with a win, but you get out of Jacksonville with some concerns. You get out of Jacksonville with an injury to Jordan Love. You got some other injuries with Jair. And now you got to go play Detroit, arguably probably the best team in the NFL. The last 3 weeks have blown teams out and blew out the Dallas Cowboys. Last week blew out the Titans. Beat a really good Vikings team that is pretty good this season. Looks like they're pretty good. We're going to have to wait and see in a competitive division. And the Detroit Lions are favored in this game, minus 2.5. Jair is going to be out in this game as well as Evan Williams. So it's going to be Stokes that has to step up in this game, Nixon that has to step up in this game, Buller that has to step up in this game. These defensive backs are going to need to step up big time with Jair and Evan Williams being out, because you saw in that Jacksonville game when Evan Williams went out, it almost felt like the defense kind of collapsed on itself. It felt like that secondary kind of collapsed on itself. So a lot of these guys are going to have to step up. Xavier McKinney is probably going to come to play, and he's going to play well. He's played phenomenal. He's got almost an interception in every single game, I think, besides one. He's played incredible. It looks like Jordan Love was questionable, but he is going to play this game. It also looks like Josh Jacobs is going to play this game after being questionable. So it looks like we're going to have some pretty good opportunities on offense. How I feel about offense, if Jordan Love's mobility is there and he's good, he's going to be just fine. I think this team can get back in a rhythm. Obviously didn't do too well down in Jacksonville, but again, he was injured. Offense still did great, put up about 30, I believe. And now you got to play a really good Detroit's Lion team that has a great defense, has a great offense. Their offense is rumbling. Last week, Jared Goff didn't put up that many yards, but they had great field position and they took advantage, and they put a whooping on the Titans. And now they come to Green Bay. Last time we played them was in Thanksgiving, and we whooped them. Jordan Love did not get his turkey drumstick, right? But now you got to stop Jared Goff. And this defense needs to play better. This rushing attack, Rashawn Gary really needs to step up. You want to see him step up. You want to see them get pressure with just four. Get home with four. Like, that's all we need, right? Because it seems like anytime we've gotten sacks or we've gotten pressure, it's because we're sending these blitz packages. We're sending the safeties up. We're sending quarterbacks up. We're sending 5. We're sending 6. Let's get home with 4. And this needs to be a big game for Rashawn Gary. And I think that's probably the weakest part of this Packers team is that pass rush that kind of has been non-existent so far, besides when you send up the safeties or send up the cornerbacks on these blitz packages, but it becomes predictable. And so how long is that really going to last? Who knows? But Rashawn Gary needs to have a big game. These cornerbacks need to have a big game and come up with stops. You got to stop Gibbs. You got to stop Goff. You got to stop St. Brown. You have to stop these guys. And how do you do that? Get to the quarterback. Get home to the quarterback with 4. And maybe send some blitz packages in there every now and then, and you're going to create opportunities, and Xavier McKinney might come up with an interception, and maybe Nixon stepping up in this game because Jair and Evan Williams are out, or Eric Stokes stepping up in this game, and you can play well against this team. I think this game is going to come down to the wire. And I've seen in social media a lot this last week that a lot of people think the Detroit Lions are just going to roll over us. I don't think so. I think we're still a pretty competitive team when it comes to those top teams in the NFL, and this is going to be a competitive one. One's going to come down to the wire, and it's all going to be about how that defense performs. And if we can get pressure, and if these cornerbacks dealing through injury can step up in replace of Jair and in place of Evan Williams. On the offensive side of the ball, it really comes down to, is Jordan Love going to be mobile enough to play this game well and get back to what we were doing before this Jacksonville Jaguars team? Honestly, I thought Jordan Love was going to lead the league in touchdowns for the whole rest of the season, the way he was playing through those first games, and even missing 2 games, he still was tied for most touchdowns at one point with Baker Mayfield. And then you come to the Jacksonville game, he gets injured, now he's behind, but he's played well. And if that mobility isn't an issue, I see this offense getting right back into it, getting right back on track, and doing what they have to do and playing well. Josh Jacobs is going to play well. Hopefully he plays well. But again, the Lions defense, really good. Special teams was phenomenal the week before the Jacksonville game, right? We played well against the Houston Texans, and our special teams gave us great field goal position. But you look at last week, the Detroit Lions game, they had great field goal position. Jared Goff didn't have to go very far. I think every time they got in the ball, they're already in the other team's territory. Like, it was phenomenal. He didn't get a lot, but he did well. He did well. And Jared Goff is playing phenomenal. Jared Goff has 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, keeping that interception rate low. Jordan Love has 15 touchdowns, more touchdowns, but 9 interceptions. And that's where you really need to kind of tone it down, especially last week in that Jacksonville game. And I get it, he was injured. But you get down in the red zone near the beginning of the game, and he throws a pick. And you can't have that. You need to limit the mistakes. You need to limit the mistakes and keep those touchdowns going. And I think Jordan Love can do that. We're going to see how he deals with the injury. I see this game coming down to the wire. It's in Green Bay. And you know when it's in Green Bay, these fans are always live. And this is a division game. The first division game with the Lions. We had to play the Vikings. It got close. We came back in the end, but couldn't close it. Couldn't quite get it. So I think the Green Bay Packers can win this game and take the lead in the division. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna have another video after the game, going through my thoughts, breaking down the game. I see it coming close. I see it being a shootout because both of these quarterbacks are phenomenal. Both these offenses are hot when they're healthy. It just really comes to how Jordan Love is going to be with that groin injury. And we're going to see what happens. But yeah, I see it being a 34, 37 type of game. May come down to a field goal. And if it comes down to a field goal, we know we got a kicker in McManus. Can he do it for a third week in a row? We'll have to see. Go Pack, go. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're growing this channel. We're trying to get back to it full time. We're trying to do it and the best we can, man. I'm really excited for this game. There'll be another video up once the game is over, going over it and breaking it down. Pack a plug.